What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. You know, over the past several days, I've been seeing either in passing or directly or indirectly, I've been seeing content and commentary by Black men, African American men, either going hard on Kamala Harris and why they won't vote for her and why others shouldn't, which I'm not listening to, but I'm just saying, I've been seeing this stuff, right? And it really made me think back to 2017. Now, if you recall, and I remember this like yesterday because I remember I was on a business trip to Florida. I went for some continuing education, and that actually happened to be for me the perfect time to get away because it was the week and weekend that Donald Trump was being inaugurated. And so I was like, you know what? Because I was honestly feeling a bit like, what in the world is going on? It was like an outer body experience that had really still to that day. It wasn't like somebody woke us all up and said, April Fools or January Fools. He has not really been elected because I was still in shock. A lot of other people were in shock. And let's be real, he was even in shock. He really did not believe that he was going to be elected. And that was never his goal in the beginning. It was a marketing ploy. And I keep saying this over and over and over again to people. He never thought that he had a shot. And he was really doing all of the crazy antics, all of the things that he was saying, telling people to knock the crap out of somebody who might throw a tomato at him, saying that he could stand in the middle of Times Square and use a pow and pummel somebody with the ejectiles from that apparatus. I'm using these words specifically for a reason here on YouTube. You get my drift. And he could still not lose any support. He was saying all of these things honestly because it was like he really had no idea that he was going to be able to make it to this point. So, not to go, deep down that rabbit hole with that, but once he got that power, he never wanted to give it up. And that's why he kept talking about the election was stolen the second time and all of these other things like that. And now he's got to get back. And it's just power grab after power grab after power grab. And it's absolutely insane. So with all those things being said, I was out of town during the week and weekend of the inauguration. But I remember watching a lot of commentary, and there were a lot of Black men. So this wasn't just females. This wasn't just African American women that were disgusted that Chrisette Michele decided to perform at the inauguration. And let's be clear, she wasn't the only African American that performed at the inauguration. Travis Scott, who was a gospel singer, and I think he might be a preacher now too. Go figure. I might do another commentary talking about that later, but I digress. He didn't get canceled, but Chrisette Michele, she suffered in her career because of this. So I wanted to talk about this for a few, because when I think about today and how you have all of these Black men specifically that are talking about Kamala and how she's a terrible pick and they wouldn't vote for her and all of the different reasons why. But yet many years ago, Chrisette Michele, she got canceled for just performing at the inauguration. She didn't say she voted for him. She didn't say she was a Trump supporter. She didn't say MAGA. She didn't wear a red ball cap with white words inscribed on, or engraved, I should say, on the front of it. She got a check for singing. Period. And she was canceled for that.
She lost fans, she lost followers, she even lost a potential gig with filmmaker Spike Lee. When the news broke, Spike Lee posted on Instagram, I was thinking about using Chrisette's song Black Girl Magic in my Netflix series She's Gotta Have It, Not Anymore. Then you have Questlove weighing in, of course the Roots drummer and the Tonight Show band leader tweeting, I'd pay Chrisette to not perform. Chrisette Michele is with me now. She just released her latest single, a spoken word track called No Political Genius. It is a direct response to the inauguration uproar. It is such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's back up.
Yeah.
Why did you say, yes, I'll perform?
I said we have to be seen. Somebody's got to see us. The Democrats aren't even coming. I've got to be one and I've got to be there. They've got to hear from us. They got to see what we look like, see what we think like, and see what we think. Because I was watching TV saying, I know he ain't talking to me.
You didn't get a chance to talk to him.
I got a chance to talk to the entire country, and I think he might be watching.
You know, who else might be watching is Spike Lee. I want you first to just address Spike Lee and Questlove because of what they said in response to you performing. What would you say to them?
Spike Lee, you were supposed to mentor me through this moment. I mean, you came before us. You taught us all of the art for change. This is what art for change is. I wore a Basquiat skirt on the stage of the inaugural ball. Were you not paying attention? And Questlove, you know how much I love you, but I would have paid you to perform. That's my response to that.
That's your response to that?
That's it. That's it. If we're artists, if we're supposed to be the people who shape the world with our art, then we've got to stand on stages where we're uncomfortable and tell our truth. I was so excited to be able to show what we look like, who we are, and what we've got to say on that stage.
Were you feeling nervous, though, over, we talked about, you know, Jennifer Holliday and other people who received such hate that they pulled out?
I mean, Barack Obama received such hate and he ran again. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to keep running just like he did. At the end of the day, everybody's going to get hate when they stand up for what they believe in. And Black Twitter is not the entire country. Black Twitter is not the entire Black America. So I refuse to make 6,000 comments the voice of Black America.
India Ari gave you love.
My love, India. Maxwell.
How about your family? What's their response to all of this stuff?
So my mom and dad actually work right around here. But my mom and dad and brothers, of course, were super supportive. But, you know, you've got those old aunts who are petrified of politics, you know, because you can't mix religion and politics. And we grew up Pentecostal. So any of this is straight taboo. But I mean, after they saw that, first of all, I sang a gospel song. So after they saw the performance and kind of understood where I was coming from, it's been a lot more love. But it was a little bit scary for me.
Did you want to meet Trump? What would you say to Trump if you were to meet him?
This is what we look like. You know what? At the end of the day, he's got constituents. He's got folks in the cabinet. He's got people not there anymore, as news just told us. I want him to know what we have to say, what we think. My goal with all of this is to bring the story of the Black girl in Far Rockaway who's got a baby and is on welfare with the story of the white girl in South Dakota who's got a baby and is on welfare. I want everybody to see how much we have in common, and I want to bring those stories to the people that matter and see if we can make some change. So if I've got to, coin a phrase, no political genius, and create a TV show myself so that our voice can be heard as a whole, then I will. I don't mind being the gap.
You can speak from experience now after all of this. So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, you can clearly hear that was that was how she felt right after she did this back in 2017, right? Now, you also heard that Spike Lee, he wanted to work with her. He decided to pull out Questlove from the group The Roots. He made his commentary on her performing, as well as some other people, and for the most part, Black men. I wanted to just share that really quick because obviously she did perform. She didn't back out of it. She didn't pull out. She decided to proceed and move forward. But after she experienced the backlash and the cancellation, she spoke out about it a few years later, and she said that it was the wrong thing to do. So this is actually from Atlanta Black Star. Chrisette Michele's career undoubtedly took a hit following her invite acceptance of an eventual performance at Donald Trump's 2016 inauguration, despite the fact she wasn't the only Black star to be seen around or perform for the former president. The Grammy Award winner not only faced verbal criticism from the Black community, but she also lost several job opportunities in the aftermath. Now, before I continue, what you heard in her speaking about it right after, she did perform, was that she was trying to, she was trying to cutesy it up and trying to make it seem like it was like a political statement. She wanted to show Donald Trump what we look. He knows what we look like, okay? You didn't need to perform there for him to see that. He could care less. And I feel like if she was just more honest to say, you know what? It was a job. It was a job, and that was it. Not that she was trying to make a political statement. I'm not saying she wouldn't have gotten the backlash that she received, but I feel that maybe some of it, although I don't agree with it, I do feel that some of it was because people felt like she was being disingenuous. And it's like, girl, don't play in our face. We know why you're doing it. You're doing it because you're getting paid. And that's it. You're not doing it to make a political statement. But I digress. The singer-songwriter often has spoken out about her decision to perform at Trump's inauguration. However, during a recent interview with Terrell for his YouTube channel, the Epiphany songstress reflected on that moment, which she said was the wrong thing to do. But she raised a question, too, about another artist and his performance. The 38-year-old questioned why gospel singer Travis Green didn't receive the same response as she did. My question has always been, what was Travis Green's intention because his album became #1? Were we singing his song? Did he start the verse? Was I singing backup with a choir that still sings to this day? I just want to know why no one saw them. Host Terrell offered his own suggestion, highlighting that there is a difference in tone in how we treat our black men and our black women. He added, some of our prominent black men can go and kiss 45 on the forehead and we're still winning Grammys, and we're calling him the greatest of all time. It's a problem to me. Keep it consistent. Be consistent if we're going to do it. Meanwhile, Michele doubted gender bias, though there have been instances where black men have been able to accomplish seemingly controversial things while women were met with pushback. Though the singer admits that while she should have declined her 2016 performance, she doesn't regret doing it because she learned a lot from the experience. I learned about myself. I learned about my fears. I learned about my insecurities. I didn't know I was that insecure until I was rejected, and I was like, do I even like her? Now, that is a hard pill to swallow. Now, the reason why I even brought this up is because, like I said, I've been seeing so much commentary, whether it's like TikTok videos, YouTube videos, whatever, by black men who are outright saying they ain't voting for Kamala, and here's why. But a lot of these same black men, and I'm not saying it has to be the exact same black men, but I'm just speaking as a whole, canceled this woman because all she did was perform at the inauguration. She got a check to do a job, and she was canceled for it. And a lot of these same black men, if they're saying they're not voting for Kamala, then they might as well say they're voting for Trump. So now you're Trump supporters, but you canceled Chrisette years ago and you refused to support Kamala. What is happening in the world today? And I just really wanted to talk about that for a minute and get your thoughts, because I just was thinking about it. And the more and more I thought about it, I said, you know what? I need to talk about this and see what other people think, because she's absolutely correct. Travis Green. I don't know why I said Travis Scott. Forgive me, guys, because I know there's a Travis Scott, but I meant to say Travis Green. So please don't comment in the comment section and say, Travis Scott isn't a gospel singer. I know this. I meant Travis Green. When I'm recording this, it's really, really, really early in the morning, okay? So I might get my days of the week mixed up. I might get last names incorrect, but I know of who I'm speaking of. I'm talking about the little short guy who sings the song, All Things Are Working for Your Good. He's intentional. That's the name of the song. They sung that at the inauguration. And Travis Green, he didn't get canceled. And some may say, well, he's in the gospel community. They can't cancel God. Well, Travis Green ain't God, okay? Travis Green is a little 5'2", 5'3", maybe 5'4". I don't know how tall he is. Human being, a guy who sang at the inauguration with Chrisette. And actually, if we want to be honest about it, Chrisette sang with him and a choir because it, like she said, was his song that she was singing. So, Black men today, they are Trump supporters, but back then they were canceling Chrisette. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? So you guys can let me know what you think in the comments section about all of this. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.